of you who are passing out today as National Police Reservists to take care of our security in this part of the county, mainly Baringo North and Baringo South. I wish you well, and I want to commit on behalf of the government of Kenya that we shall be shortly announcing major measures to support the National Police Service to be able to give better and more efficient services to our communities and our country. As I said yesterday, the government will make sure that every National Police Reservist in our country is insured with a National Hospital Insurance Fund. From 1st of July this year, every National Police Reservist will be insured with a National Hospital Insurance Fund to make sure that you have a medical cover when you are injured in the line of duty. You can be treated, but also we will also extend that cover to members of your families. Secondly, the government will provide uniform, and we are in the process of concluding the design of the NPR uniform, which we shall apply to every NPR officer, full uniform including footwear. Lazima tuwapatie sare kamili ya kikosi cha maafisa wa polisi wa ziada pamoja na viatu ili muweze kufanya kazi yenu kwa njia ambayo iko na heshima. I also want to announce that the government is relooking at your stipend to see whether we can also be able to enhance your stipend, and so that between an enhanced stipend, uniform, and NHIF medical cover, you are able to provide better services for our people. And therefore, I don't want to take a lot of time. I have been here several times, as your leaders have said. All your leaders, we have worked together very closely. Your governor, Your Excellency Moses Cheboy, we've worked very closely with him. He's very passionate about taking Baringo out of this challenge of insecurity. I want to congratulate you, Governor, and to thank you for the support that you're providing to the national government to ensure that we move together and make sure our people are secure and empowered. I also want to thank your MCAs, all MCAs. We've worked also very well with them, and I want to promise going forward we shall work with all leaders. The members of parliament for this area, we have also worked with them very well. Member for Baringo South, member for Baringo North, the women rep, and the other members of parliament from Baringo, the senator of Baringo, who is the chairman of the Senate Security Committee. We are all working together, and I want to thank God for this privilege of being your minister at a time like this. And I want to make the following assurances for the sake of our people. The problem of banditry has been with us for a very long time. President William Ruto has decided that he is the president under whose leadership the problem of banditry in our country will be resolved once and for all. And therefore, he has given all of us very firm instructions, those who are working under him in the ministry that is responsible for public safety, the Interior Ministry, to make sure that we get around this problem. And therefore, all my colleagues from the National Police Service, National Government Administration officers, and all public servants who are concerned must take cue behind the presidential directive and make sure we up our game, roll our sleeves and make sure that we deliver on the promise of a bandit-free Kenya. For those in the national government administration, I am happy with what the team led by Dr. Abdi, the regional commissioner, is doing here, and the entire regional security and intelligence team. The county team as well, under the county commissioner, who is new, fairly new, barely a month or so old. Together with the other teams, I am also happy with what you're doing. The sub-county teams, our ACCs, our chiefs and assistant chiefs, we also are happy with what you're doing, but we can do better. We can do better. We should do better. And I want to assure you of my support. But as I support you, you must work harder, better, and faster. I don't want to be coming from Nairobi to reach a scene of crime before the rest of you have reached there. You must find ways of getting there ahead of me. And if it is facilitation, let's talk about facilitation. But going forward, we must rein in on these bandits and just stop them. Let's just stop them. We have made some good progress in getting rid of the hideouts, getting rid of bandits from the hideouts where they've been hiding. The Corcoran Hills, Arabal Hills, Ngerecha Hills, Tandare Valley, all these places are now free from bandits. But we must make sure they don't return there again. And therefore, our National Police Service officers, the multi-agency teams here, including our partners in this effort, the Kenya Defense Forces, we must make sure that these places remain out of bounds for bandits and criminals for the rest of our time. We must not entertain a situation where these criminals sneak back in the name of anything. In the name of grazing, in the name of water, in the name of anything. These are now crime scenes. We have sealed them off. They can graze and do whatever else elsewhere. Anybody found in the Corcoran Hills, the Arabal Hills, the Ngelecha Hills, the Tandare Valley, will be treated as a suspect of banditry and will be dealt with accordingly. The government did promise a few other things in this region, and the president has directed us to expedite the delivery of those promises. I would like to announce that the government has released 100 million for the rehabilitation of all the schools that were affected in Baringo North and Baringo South by banditry. The money has been released, and our officers from the Kenya Defense Forces will help us in the reconstruction. I am aware that money may not be enough given the level of damage in some of the schools. I have visited some of those places. We require a little more money. So we are working hard to be able to secure a further 100 million to bring the total to 200 million for the purpose of rehabilitating those schools. Number two, the government has decided to enhance the number of local teachers from the local area. And we are going to give 50 new teachers in Baringo South and 50 new teachers in Baringo North who will be recruited from the local community by the Teachers Service Commission to ensure that they are able to support our schools here and they don't run away because of the situation here, even as they also support the teachers who come from the rest of the country. I also want to announce that we shall be putting up the security roads that have been identified. We have mobilized the equipment, and I think in another 1 or 2 weeks I'll be back here to launch 2 security roads in Baringo North and 2 security roads for Baringo South, and we'll make that announcement shortly. I also want to announce that next week I'll be announcing new administrative units in the affected areas, including Baringo, so that we can have the services of government closer to the people, and therefore, for all this region which is being affected by banditry, we are going to make nationwide announcement, but with a very clear focus also on the areas with security challenges like Baringo, as we create and operationalize new sub-counties, new divisions, new locations, and new sub-locations. As requested by Senator Cheptumo, we will accept the request to establish Koriema and Sandai police posts with immediate effect because of supporting what the agencies are doing here to improve the security in this area. I want to take this opportunity to give my pole for those whose relatives were hurt in yesterday's attack. And I have discussed with the Member of Parliament for Baringo North. He will be going to see them in the hospital on our behalf this afternoon to take his pole. And perhaps when I come back to Baringo next week, I should be able to visit Baringo North, and we will be able also to visit some of the families that have been affected by this problem of bandits. At the moment, it is not possible for police and security officers to be in every homestead to be able to secure every homestead. And therefore, what you are seeing, the isolated attacks you're seeing, are criminals who are trying to attack, knowing very well that our police officers cannot be everywhere. We have said, going forward, we don't want to hear of any livestock theft again. The agencies working here must find a way of preventing livestock theft. We are supporting you and investing in intelligence gathering to ensure that we prevent bandits from attacking and robbing our people. But at the same time, when an attack happens, when livestock is stolen, the livestock must be tracked, recovered, and returned in full to the people who own that livestock. Lazima mifugo wote ambao wanaibiwa warudishwe. Hao mifugo wameibiwa jana, tumeanza kukamatana na hao wa majangili, tutatangaza hivi karibuni. Tume recover already part of the livestock, but we want to recover every goat and every cow that was stolen yesterday. Lazima hiyo mifugo irudi. Kwa hivyo timu zetu zote, tukitoka hapa, mimi naenda njia hii, nyinyi muende njia ile ingine, lazima hao mifugo warudi hapa. Nikirudi hapa next week, nitangaze mifugo yote ilirudishwa wenyewe. Wiki iliyopita kulikuwa na wizi kule Laikipia North. Askari wetu, maofisa wa NPR, askari na KDF wamefuata ile mifugo, wamerudisha ile ng'ombe yote ikiwa salama kwa mwenyewe. Mbuzi wengine wameibiwa hapa Samburu wiki hii tu pale Longewan. Tumesukumana nao majangili, recover hizo mbuzi, kesho naenda kupokea pale Longewan. Mbuzi yote imepatikana. We want going forward, number 1, we must prevent livestock theft. Number 2, in the unlikely event of a livestock theft, we must recover the livestock and return it to its owners. And therefore, on behalf of the government, I want to assure you that we are focused on this matter, and I want to make a vow before the people of Kenya that I will be the minister who will oversee the end of this barbaric and primitive act of banditry. Hawa wakora wametuzoea. Nataka kuapa mbele ya wananchi wa Kenya, mimi nitakuwa waziri mwenye atasimamia mwisho na kusimamishwa kabisa kwa shida hii ya wizi wa mifugo katika taifa letu la Kenya. Nataka wananchi watupatie muda kidogo. Shida hii tumekuwa nayo miaka 50, haiwezi kuisha siku moja. Lakini zile maneno ambazo zimefanya hii shida iendelee tunashughulikia, na nikirudi hapa wiki ijayo nitapatiana ripoti kamili. Tumeshika wakora wengi na wezi wa mifugo, wako kotini, nitapeana hiyo list na ile koti ambao tumewapeleka. Ndio wananchi wajue hao maafisa wetu wanafanya kazi. Kuna wengine tumewashughulikia. Kuna wengine tuliwaambia watoke kule Korokoron wakakataa kutoka. Sasa we cleared the place. Nataka tu niseme hivi. The instructions of the president and all of us is to make sure that we bring this problem to an end. Anybody, whether a public official, a politician, a business person, a religious leader, anyone who stands between Kenya and the end of banditry will meet with the wrath of the law of our country. Ule mtu atasimama mbele yetu na vita dhidi ya wezi wa mifugo, tutapita na yeye. Awe ni mtu ya biashara, awe ni mwanasiasa, awe ni mwanabiashara, awe ni nani, tutapita naye kwa sababu wananchi wa Kenya wamechoka na mambo ya wizi wa mifugo na mauaji ya kiolela. That is the position of this government. Na mimi sitaki niongee mambo mengi. But 5 years from today, I want us to review where we will be. And we will do it in such a way that we will not have this problem recurring. We have long-term development issues in this region. The government is implementing those programs, including the building of peace institutions in this region, across communities, all communities without exception. We want to build peace institutions. The president has already given us guidance. We are working with local leaders to identify places where along inter-community borders where we are having security challenges, we build boarding schools, we build day schools, we build other education institutions to put the children from different communities together and remove from them this idea that you can make a living from stealing other people's livestock and killing them. Na mimi nataka niseme hapa tumeweka NPRs. Vile vile nitaingia pale Tiati, kwa sababu wale majirani wenu pale Tiati, najua kuna wakora wengi pale, wezi wa ng'ombe. Hao ninaingia hapo kukabiliana nao. Lazima tukabiliane na hao watu. Lakini najua pale Tiati kuna watu wazuri, kuna watu wa Mungu, kuna watu wa ushiriki na mambo ya wizi wa ng'ombe. Lazima pia tuingie pale ili isionekane kama kuna jamii fulani ambaye wote wamelaaniwa na kuhukumiwa kama wakora. Na hii program ya NPR pia, wakati tutaketi na viongozi, tukubaliane, wakubali kurudisha ile bunduki haramu wako nayo, Mimi nitawapatia pia bunduki ya kulinda jamii kule, kwa sababu pia hao ni Wakenya. Lakini kwanza warudishe bunduki haramu, ndio wapewe bunduki ya serikali ile ambayo tutafuatilia vile inatumika. That is our vision. This region must be set free and the time is now. Kwa hivyo mimi sitaki kuongea kuzidi hapa, naona mmekaa kwa muda mrefu na nitarudi mara mingi. Mimi naomba tu hao viongozi, saa nyingine mkisikia nimekuja na sijakwambia, ni vile mambo mengine ni mambo ya haraka. Na tukubaliane next time tukija hafla kama hii unaongea tu dakika moja. Sasa ukirefusha hao vijana wataanguka, wamesimama tangu saa 3. Naongea dakika moja ama unasalamiana. Kwa sababu ile mambo, my office is open, I speak with all of you almost on a daily basis. Na ukibaki unakuwa balozi wa serikali. Ile mambo yote unasema waziri amesema hivi, rais amesema hivi, kwa sababu wewe ndiye mwakilishi wa serikali katika hii mahali. Kwa hivyo nataka niseme nashukuru. Nitawatafutia uniform, nitawatafutia viatu, nitawatafutia NHIF insurance cover nyinyi na familia zenu, na vile vile nitahakikisha kwamba hiyo police post ya Kariema na Sandai imefunguliwa. Mashule ile tunarekebisha imerekebishwa, watoto wetu warudi shule, alafu tuanze peace building initiatives between communities. The Marakwet, the Tugen, the Pokots, the Samburus, the Turkanas. We want to bring communities together to get away from this backward behavior. Sasa kwa sababu hii hafla imeisha na this training was being supervised I think by Odero, Regional Police Commanders. Wewe ndio ulikuwa unapanga hii maneno hapa? So hawa vijana wangu na instructors tukitoka hapa, kwa sababu tunaenda kwa ndege, ndio tuende tukatafuta hiyo ng'ombe ambaye bado haijapatikana. Nataka sasa uwapange kidogo wakule ng'ombe ya kugraduate. Nitakuachia 1 million shillings ili washerekee pamoja. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki, muwe na wakati mzuri.